6 News. Coverage you can count on starts now.
Thanks for joining us. The coronavirus is officially a pandemic. The World Health Organization made that declaration today, something it has been reluctant to do.
The director says the agency is deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of the spread and the severity of the virus. He said some countries have been able to suppress and control the outbreak, but others have failed to react quickly enough.
As of this moment, state health officials say there are 2 confirmed coronavirus cases and 14 presumptive positive cases in the state.
2 shootings in less than 24 hours in Blair County. 3 teenagers are now being charged as adults in Tuesday night's deadly shooting of a 15-year-old boy in Altoona. An investigation is also underway into last night's officer-involved shooting in Martinsburg. We have live team coverage for you. Katie Bandish has been following the officer-involved shooting all day and will join us in just a bit with what we know so far. We begin with Marshall Keeley, who spoke with police about the Altoona shooting and who police believe is responsible for killing the teenager. Marshall?
We begin with breaking news. The Cambria County School District says it is investigating what it calls disturbing allegations involving students and staff.
6 News investigative reporter Crispin Havener joins us live from Portage with late-breaking developments. Crispin?
People are gathering right now to remember the life of Devin Fershing, the 15-year-old boy who was shot and killed late Tuesday night. Here's a live look at Jefferson Park.
The vigil is being held in the spot where Fershing was found. You can see there's a good crowd there. It's just getting started. Police say 3 teenagers contacted him to buy marijuana there, and the meeting was set up to rob Fershing. He suffered a gunshot wound to the head.
Owen Sutherland, Damian Green, and Logan Persing all face murder and robbery charges. Altoona police say 1 person was shot outside a home that's close to a number of schools.
The entire Altoona area school district went into a temporary lockdown as a result, and Marshall Keeley has the latest from police and one neighbor's account of the frightening moments. Marshall?
Tim and Jan, Altoona police say a shooting this morning outside the home behind me.
The heaviest of the snowfall came down this morning in some areas, and we're going to send it to Chief Meteorologist Tony Martin. Tony, how long will the snow continue?
Well, Tim and Jen, it looks like another couple of hours, especially if you are west of Interstate 99, the usual spots that pick up most of the snow during the course of a winter season. You'll see the snow linger the longest heading into tonight.
Now, a shocking new video from Ohio that shows a school bus crash.
The bus flipped after being struck by another vehicle, leaving terrified students pinned inside.
The video now raising new questions about school bus safety and seatbelts. NBC's Vicki Nguyen reports. Here's a live look from the scene right now.
First responders are currently working on pulling the truck out of a ditch. No lanes of the turnpike are affected, but the ramp is closed. It is unclear right now if anyone was hurt. We'll update you once the ramp is open.
A Johnstown doctor charged with involuntary manslaughter pleaded guilty to lesser charges. The Attorney General's office says Dr. George Publitz pleaded guilty to 1 count of possession with intent to deliver and 1 count of administering a controlled substance by a doctor. Police say 99-year-old Ruth Peck was in his care when she died in June of 2018. A grand jury report said Publitz failed to advise the woman's niece to seek medical attention for Peck after giving her prescribed medication. Attorneys for Publitz were asking the judge to dismiss the case due to destroyed evidence and need for further testing. His sentencing is scheduled for Monday at 10 a.m.
Firefighters in Blair County battled a house fire this morning on Mattern Road in Frankstown Township. Dispatchers say at least 2 people lived in the home. No injuries were reported, but the home sustained significant damage.
The community is coming together to put fundraisers together for a Johnstown family impacted by a medical emergency. Star basketball player Izzy Britt from Johnstown was rushed to Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh last week, where he remains today. Family is not sure what's wrong with him. We reached out to the Greater Johnstown School District about Britt. Family spoke out through the school district saying Izzy is improving daily and they're thankful for the love and support the community has shown. The Richland varsity boys basketball team is collecting money at Friday's game for the Britt family. Toulouse Bar and Grill will also be holding a spaghetti dinner on March 2nd from 4 to 8 p.m. Dinners are $10 per person. All of the proceeds will go to the Britt family for medical and other expenses.
No, I'd like to say that I was surprised with the news, but unfortunately, nothing surprises me like that out of the church any longer.
Coming up on 6 News, a sexual abuse survivor from Johnstown speaks out about a diocese filing for bankruptcy, how his fight for victims will continue.
High levels of lead found in water in Hollidaysburg, why borough leaders say there's no reason for concern. And movies will be back at Johnstown State Theater beginning next month, why organizers believe the theater's history will continue to draw a big crowd. Court documents confirm 2 felony charges have been dismissed in a local bank robbery case. Michael Hall is accused of robbing First Summit Bank on Main Street in Johnstown. He's still facing robbery, theft by unlawful taking, and receiving stolen property charges. Police say Hall entered the bank, handed the teller a note saying he had a gun, and the teller gave him money. Police took Hall into custody hours later in the Hornerstown section of the city. He's currently in the Cambria County Prison. Hall was previously convicted of robbery in 2015, sentenced to jail time for robbing the First National Bank in the city's Moxham neighborhood. Coming up, several cases of vandalism leads to thousands of dollars in damage in the Altoona area, who police say is responsible for the crimes.
Coming up, the impeachment hearings are in the past, but we'll explain if voters believe the proceedings will have a long-term impact. Investigations are in full swing for 2 fatal incidents in Clearfield County, one stemming from last October and the other late last night.
An explosion claimed the life of 1 person, which was ruled a homicide, and 2 were killed in a fire last night. We have team coverage. Sarah Metz has more on the identities of those killed in the fire and what investigators know so far.
But we begin with Chelsea Johnson. She's live to explain what factors led to investigators to rule the deadly explosion a homicide. Chelsea? Johnstown police released another picture today in hopes of catching the suspect who robbed a bank last week. Officers say the man walked into the Johnstown Federal Credit Union on Vine Street, handed a teller a note and demanded money, and then walked away with $1,100. All employees were safe. No injuries were reported. Anyone with information is asked to contact Johnstown police. Still ahead, Harvey Weinstein sentenced in a New York City courtroom today. How long he'll be behind bars.
And at 5:30, hundreds of high school students dreaming up wild rides on a smaller scale. The competition at the center of it.
However, local officials continue to exercise precautions, and we have team coverage.
Chelsea Johnson spoke with an official at a hospital who says testing for the virus is now available, while Sydney Jackstimer will explain how nursing homes are taking precautions against the virus.
Bree Guy will show us which cleaning supplies are flying off the shelves, but we begin with Gary Sitterson. He explains the new step Penn State implemented this afternoon to prevent the coronavirus. Gary?